welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by former Canadiens defenseman, assistant coach, 1986 Stanley Cup champion Rick Green, and my Gazette colleague Brendan Kelly, who's filling in for Knuckles Nyland on this episode. Rick, Canadiens GM Kent Hughes bringing Phillip Danault back to the Canadiens from the LA Kings in exchange for a second-round pick. He's played a few games with the Canadiens now. He seems to be very happy to be back here. What have you liked about his performance so far since coming back to the Canadiens?
Well, first of all, it's nice to see that a guy is really excited to come to an organization and really determined to make the difference given the opportunity. And with Evans going down through injury, Danault came into a really good opportunity to show what he can show and pick up where he left off when he was here before. And a character guy, determined, wanting to make the difference. And it's looking good that they were able to bring him in and fill a little bit of void, allow them some experience and some depth moving forward. And it's exciting to see a guy that's pumped up to make the difference and be part of the Montreal Canadiens family.
Yeah, Brendan, I think this is a dream come true for him coming back here. I don't think he ever anticipated that happening. I know at practice Tuesday, the first practice in Montreal in Brossard since he was acquired, his wife and his two kids were in the stands watching him. After practice, he brought his son on the ice for him. I mean, he's soaking this up and just so happy to be back. And just what have you liked about what you've seen from him so far?
I love the pickup from day one. I thought it was great. He's obviously, Phillip Danault is not the player he was when he left the Canadiens. He's on the tail end of his career. But you know what? He's just the player you need. Firstly, he's Quebecois. I think this is not to be underplayed. He's super happy to be back here. He talked about how he, partly wanted his kids to be in a French environment and go to
see snow.
and see snow. That's right. And I love seeing the images of him with his kids on the ice. It was just beautiful. And the guys look up to him in the room, but he's also a key player. He's a veteran center. Just look the other day when he won that face-off in overtime in Dallas, and he won it on his knees. I mean, he's like, I'm going to win this face-off no matter what, and got the puck to Hudson, and bang, that was the winning goal. He's a great PK guy. So I think it's a great addition. And look, they got lucky. I mean, they got unlucky with the Evans injury, but they got lucky that Danault is there. So I think it's a big plus. Hughes has always said that his style is it's not just going to be young people. It's not just going to be young players. There's got to be a mix, and they are, as we've been saying this week, in a different phase. They got to win. They want to hopefully maybe win a playoff series. Well, you need guys like Danault. And I mean, Phillip Danault was there. He went, he famously assisted on that Lehkonen goal in the greatest moment in Habs history, honestly, in the last 25 years, to beat Vegas and to get to the Stanley Cup final. So you know what? And there aren't that many players left. There's Galley, of course, who's on that line with him. But so you bring that experience. That's huge. I mean, you're in a tough moment in the playoffs or even just in a game, and you need a guy like Danault to be there. So, yeah, I just love that picking.
And that was the second faceoff he's won since coming here that led to a winning or a goal late in the game, a key goal. The trade was made before Jake Evans got hurt. It looked good before then. It looks even better now. And Kent Hughes on Tuesday, Rick, spoke about how Danault fills a lot of the things they need right now. Experience, a key faceoff guy. He talked about how important possession is now in the NHL, and especially in overtime also. A defensive forward, good on the PK, also a left shot center. He just seems to fill a lot of stuff, and they didn't have to give up. I mean, they gave up a second-round pick, but they have two, so they still have another one. It just seemed like a really smart move, Rick.
Well, I think he's a classic example of a player with, that experience, understanding how he survived in the game and what he needs to do to continue to be effective in the group. And he, exactly like the guys were saying, he's effective in the face-off circle. He's responsible. He's a quality person. He adds a lot of things to the dressing room and outside the dressing room. So again, back to the old story of trying to bring in, good people with their heart in the right place. Danault is a classic example of that.
Well, as you mentioned, he's not the player he was when he left the Canadiens. If he was, he'd still be in LA. But he's still that smart player, and and being reunited with Brendan Gallagher. Brendan Gallagher isn't the same player he was the last time Phillip Danault was here. Marty St. Louis, Brendan, he didn't put Gallagher with Danault right away, but after the injury to Josh Anderson, he did put him with him, and we've seen Brendan Gallagher first couple of games with Danault getting a ton of shots on goal and looking much more effective. Do you think Danault might be able to light a spark under Gallagher, and maybe they can feed off each other if they remain as line mates?
Well, I mean, that'd be a dream scenario, right? Because let's be brutally honest. I mean, this has been a pretty rough year for Brendan Gallagher. He had way more offense last year than I think any of us expected, and then it's just dropped right off the chart. So you know what? It's a positive. I mean, these guys. They were part of a great line back in the day. Obviously, neither of them are going to be scoring the kind of goals or putting up the kind of points they were before. But yeah, I think it's going to be a plus, and it can only help. It can only help Gally, and I think it can only help Phil Danault as well. I mean, things were not going well in Los Angeles, and that was. There were some naysayers when the trade happened, right? Oh, he hasn't got any goals and he's kind of washed up. It's a lot of money. I mean, I liked it from day one because you're not bringing Phillip Danault in to put up points at this point. You're bringing him in to win faceoffs. You're bringing him in to kill penalties. But you know what? I think that, and I think we're already seeing it. Not that it's dramatic. It's not like he's not controlling games the way a Hudson or a Suzuki is, but I think he's going to do better. I mean, there was obviously something not working out this year in LA. He comes back here. We're talking about him out with his kids, that he wanted his kids to see winter. He wants to send them to French school. He's going to be happy to be back. He has obviously got, the CH tattooed on his heart. And I think it'll improve his play. If it helps Gallagher as well, all the better.
Yeah, and with Gallagher, I mean, once Newhook and Doc and Liney come back, it's a possibility we see Brendan Gallagher coming out of the lineup. But Rick, with Danault, I mean, scoring goals isn't a problem with the Canadiens, right? They don't need Phillip Danault to score goals. They brought him here to be a defensively responsible centerman, to help on the PK, to help kill big penalties. But that experience factor, Rick, you were on a Stanley Cup championship team. You coached for many years. Just how important is that experience, even if he doesn't have the offense that he used to have?
It's huge because there's a lot of little things that go unnoticed when you're playing with certain individuals, and he does a lot of little things that are very effective in making the difference between winning and losing. And in backing up a little bit the other night, I hope the relationship between Gallagher and Danault hasn't been damaged since Gallagher stole Danault's first goal, the questionable goal. But anyway, sir,
no joked about that. Yeah, that was funny.
They're happy to be together. They're excited about the opportunity to make things happen as a line, and chemistry is really a big part of it. And they've got a lot of different ingredients that seem to gel well together and make them very, very effective as a trio.
Yeah, and I know I spoke with Gallagher before the trade was made, and he said he still kept in touch with Danault all the time. They commented, they talked regularly. Still great friends. The other good thing about that trade, there's only one more year left on Danault's contract. Allows Michael Hage coming up a little bit of a leeway there if he goes and plays a year in Laval. I think just a good trade all around, and the fact that Jake Evans got hurt afterwards makes it even a better trade. Anyway, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. We'll have one more bonus episode coming up over the next few days. Excuse me. So you can look for that. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And if you didn't already know, Hockey Inside Out is also available now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.